What's up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching the Political Vigilante streaming live on Sunday, November 29th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, streaming live. It is approximately 3:13 p.m. Pacific time, 6:13 on the East Coast, 1:15 in Tahiti. Ladies and gentlemen, and good day, good afternoon, or good evening in whatever part of the world that you are joining us. What's up? Anybody notice anything new on the set? Oh, is this a fancy Shure microphone? Is this the big one? The SM78 mega microphone 2000 boom boom boom? Yes. Hello everybody. Hello, you can good and hear me, everybody. Okay, I hope you like the new microphone upgrade. I enjoyed Friday and Saturday off. I hope you guys had a nice holiday. Those of you who didn't, I hope you get to see the cooking show Thanksgiving, the cooking spectaculanza. So let me make sure you can see and hear me okay. What's good? It sounds really good, doesn't it? Oh. Can I deep throat it? I cannot. I'd have to unlock my jaw like some weird python. It's still smaller than Rod's. I know. I couldn't get the microphone the size of a cantaloupe. They're all sold out. I was looking for a cantaloupe. It's literally the Ron Placone cantaloupe microphone. They don't have them. This microphone I ordered, not joking, July 2nd. Got here last week. So I did get a new haircut. And I just had to tweak some of the stuff because I moved this equipment into the kitchen to do the cooking show. And I'm not some great cook. It was really just cooking on Thanksgiving and then did all my characters, which was super fun. I need to rub it a little bit. Yes, it is. This is a vegan mic. This is a vegan gluten-free microphone. It's not the size of the mic, but what you say, yes, 5 months. I'm not joking. When the pandemic hit, anything having to do with home, working at home, went all of that gear. Like, I remember it took me 2 months to get a transcoder to start using the nice camera. I don't know if you remember when I used to live stream, I had this shitty webcam. Anything, because everybody started working at home. Every teacher, personal trainer, anybody, they started. So anything having to do with home, like home workout gear, took forever to get. Like anything because of the pandemic. So this microphone is the best microphone out there for any sort of podcasting or YouTube or whatever. They literally call it the Joe Rogan microphone. So this is going to get me 10 million subscribers. Boom. Vegan guns. Hello, Kate. Hello, everybody watching on Rockfin and on the Facebook. Welcome to the stream. Ivan Travosky on Rockfin had a shitty day with no hope. The Great Reset rolling out while everyone refuses to wake up, still trusting Biden. Yeah, that's funny. Big Pharma, NATO and government while Assange is dying. Yeah, we should free Julian Assange. While people in Yemen and Syria are dying, been drinking a bit. When Grandma's on, I feel a bit better. Well, that's good. As someone that's sober, I encourage you to find non-drug and alcohol means of dealing with things that are challenging. I had fun discussing your lack of cooking skills with a friend for hours after the show, mate. It was so... And people were like, what? Someone I think was new to the show in the chat was like, why are you doing a cooking show if you're not good at it? Like this is my thing is I do cooking shows when I don't know what I'm talking about. No. I eat healthy. People are like, Graham, you got to eat. I eat healthy. It's not, when I cook for myself, it's really not that interesting. Like I just do the most basic healthy and people are like, oh, add this and make a sauce with that. And then all are great ideas. And I thank you, but I'm not going to do that shit. I'm just hungry. I want to eat. I'm just such a dude who lives alone, just single dude. Just, you know, like I'm trying, but whatever. Um, stand against the vaccines. Yeah, I look, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've said this before. I'm sure I'll say it again. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I do have some questions about a vaccine being rolled out. I just have some questions. I don't think I'm going to be the first one to take it. I tell you that. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. You know, I always tell to the anti-vaxxers, I always say, look, man, how did we cure polio? How do we cure mumps, measles, all those things? But I also don't trust big pharmaceutical companies, you know, who now kids are getting way too many vaccines. But I would love for there to be a legitimate vaccine that works and we can all go back. I want to go back to touring on the road, but I'm not going to rush. I don't know. I'm so skeptical. But then the whole world is working on something because the whole world's been shut down. So I don't know. I have so many mixed emotions about that. It's crazy. So many mixed emotions. Folks, a great way to support the show is you got to be on YouTube. So if you're watching on Rockfin or Facebook, you're going to have to put that there. You're going to have to go over to YouTube, but you hit the dollar icon. You can support the show the way BA is. BA, can you have a psychologist on to talk about why working people defend the rich? Oh, God. It is so insane to watch. It is so insane to watch. Like somebody, I think it was on Twitter, said they responded to me for something and they're like, they were saying they don't like billionaires at Thanksgiving dinner and their dad got mad at them. I mean, we all want money, but a big problem today is the proletariat not holding the elite accountable for corruption. I know we've been so brainwashed. So many people have been so propagandized to love the billionaire, to love the ruling class, to revere the CEO, rather than go, wait a minute, you make what? And your employees get nothing? What? And it's part of the delusion of the American dream, which doesn't even exist anymore. So the American dream was great back in the day because, you know, there was a lot of union jobs, there was banking regulation, there's all these things. And you could work hard and work your way up and get a good middle class income. And the American dream worked for most Americans, mainly white Americans. Didn't work as well for people of color, but it's still kind of, you know, you look to stuff like the car industry post World War II in Detroit, and all these people of all these ethnicities worked in these good union jobs, and then they could buy a home and a car and grow their wealth. But even the American dream, I think the problem is everybody wants to be a billionaire and thinks it's so easy. And then somebody that's making, you know, $500,000 a year, and, you know, you can have a very nice, comfortable life for $500,000 a year, thinks they're part of the billionaires. Even someone that makes $1 million a year thinks, oh yeah, I'm part of the rich billionaire. And if you make $1 million a year, you can't sway an election. You can't buy politicians. And I don't think the millionaire realizes how much closer they are to poverty than they are to being a billionaire. So if you make $1 million a year, you're $970,000 away from making 30 grand a year, which is basically the working poor in America. 30 grand a year where you got to pay your own health insurance. Because if you make 30 grand a year, it's highly unlikely you're going to get health insurance for that kind of a wage, right? So you're only 970 grand away to, if you do have health care, it's shitty Obamacare that barely does anything. You better hope you don't get a real sickness like cancer. You know, it's just for like once a year checkups and maybe, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? You twist your ankle or something and you can get that taken care of and it doesn't cost you too much. But if you have anything major, forget it. You're going to go bankrupt for making 30 grand a year. You don't have any savings. You don't have any retirement. You don't have anything like that. You're $970,000 away from that. You are $999 million away from being a billionaire. So the millionaire or even the nice 6-figure income person is delusional to think that they're a part of the ruling class. And look, you make 500 grand or $1 million a year. I mean, 500 grand a year, you can live a very nice, comfortable life if you're smart with your money, if you don't blow it. You can have a nice home, have a decent car, go on a nice vacation, have a decent life, get to do nice things, go to nice dinners, get to travel, whatever you like doing, buy tickets to nice concerts or whatever. You can have that nice life, but you're not a billionaire. And again, you have how much can you donate to a campaign? And how much say can you have to a campaign? You can say I'm rich and I'm going to give the maximum with this $10,000 and, maybe pay for some $10,000 a plate and meet that politician and say, hey, I'm a millionaire. I'd really appreciate it if you could, do this or this legislating that'll benefit me. But you still don't have the power that a billionaire has. And working class people defending billionaires is part of how their propaganda has been done in America. So that's part of the American dream, is to, as George Carlin says, it's called a dream because you have to be asleep to believe it, is to trick the American into thinking that they can be as rich and powerful as the 1%. And the number of people who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, could that happen? Can that still happen today? Yeah, kinda. But even if you do at a certain point, when you start making millions of dollars and then you start making tens of millions of dollars, to get past that point, anyone can work hard and become a millionaire working hard with a good idea or something like that. Okay. But to become a billionaire, you have to do awful shit. You have to exploit people. You have to exploit your workers. You have to. There's just no way around it. You have to exploit resources. You have to, as Elon Musk says, we'll coup who we want to coup in Bolivia because he needs the minerals to make his electric cars. Like you have to do that somehow. Mark Zuckerberg had to screw people over to get to that place. He had to screw over the Winklevoss twins. Not that there's some noble, victims in this. They're rich, too spoiled, blue blood rich kids. Which again is why I go back to cryptocurrency is the one time, it's one of the few times in history where regular people have a chance to get rich, have a chance to acquire real wealth and get out of the rat race of the central banking system. That's the thing too. What you're bringing up, BA, is such a great point. The proletariat, the worker, doesn't see how they are indentured servants to the billionaire ruling class. They don't see it. They think, they don't see how capitalism doesn't give a shit about them. Doesn't give a shit about them. These billionaires, and it's going to happen. They're going to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And I don't want this to happen, but I don't see it being avoided. And neither do a bunch of people that know 10 times more than I'll ever know about finances and the economy. Because what's going to happen, everyone the fact that if they're looking through at what's going on during this pandemic and they're not seeing how they're getting screwed over, two things they should be noticing. One, how important who the essential workers are. The essential worker is not the billionaire. The essential worker is not the CEO. The essential worker is not, $1,000 an hour corporate lawyers. The essential worker is not the owners of sports franchises. The essential worker is the working person. We saw it. This pandemic really showed who the working person was, frontline workers, not the owner of the hospital, the doctors and nurses and technicians working there, right? Not the owner of the restaurant chain, the people working in the restaurant, not the owner of the big grocery store chain, the person loading the truck, unloading the truck, the person stocking the shelves, the person working in the cash register. Those are the essential workers. Without them, everything shuts down, right? That's what we learned. It's not big agricultural businesses, Monsanto and companies like that. It's the person in the field picking the food to put on the truck to send it to the grocery store so that we can eat. It's not the owner of Charmin. It's the person working in the toilet paper factory. They're an essential worker. So people need to wake up to that fact. And what I always try to do when confronted with people like that is not argue with them. I just start asking questions. And that's when you start asking questions, well, then who's making all the money? Well, the billionaires are so great. How come there's bread lines, literally food lines? And then there's Americans who can't pay their bills. And then we've got billionaires making record profits, Walmart record profits, Amazon record profits. And are they giving that back to their employees? Well, that's why the prices are so low at Amazon and Walmart. No. They could pay their employees and keep the prices low. They just don't want to take away their profits. Walmart could keep the prices exactly the way they are. Amazon could keep their prices exactly the way they are and double their labor payout. And still, they wouldn't make as many billions of dollars. The CEOs wouldn't be able to buy 2 private jets or 3 yachts. That's the problem. That's how you need to explain it to them. Talk about the side of the worker and how they're getting exploited. And then when they go, well, socialism doesn't work, say, well, it's been, democratic socialism has been working in Western Europe for years, decades. And you can have free market competitive economy with worker-owned cooperatives. There's no problem. Right? Great thing to bring up, BA. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We have 288 people watching, 128 likes. Hit the like button, everybody. Like it up, like it up, like it up. Sam Dean, what's up down in Australia, my friend? Shave your knuckles for justice. Remember, fellow vigilantes, the only people who can try to drag you down by definition are already beneath you. Also, this quote I would add, Sam Dean. I think this was it Langston Hughes or maybe James Baldwin? I forget, but you can't keep a man down without staying down yourself. So remember that. Don't knock the great Russian Empire. They beat Hitler, not capitalist fascists. Yeah, that's true. When I left the defense industry, I went into auto industry and was sent to many factories all over. I felt it was criminal for the Clintons to cheerlead sending U.S. jobs out of the U.S. Yep, another awful thing the Clintons did. I asked for so little for a nice life. No McMansions, just a small house with a yard, walking distance to my grocery store, right? Kate, our moderator. What's up, Kate? Shave your knuckles for justice. I love how the U.S. is so grateful to people who still don't have health insurance, a guaranteed 40-hour work week, time and a half, and $15 an hour minimum wage. Yeah, I know. We're so here's a bag of platitudes, everybody. Here's a bag of platitudes. Enjoy those platitudes, everybody. We really want you to. I know you can't feed your family with platitudes, but you definitely should just suck on them for a while. You know what? Just give your landlord some platitudes and that should take care of your rent. I'm going to do a segment. There's a quick thing I want to get. Mm-hmm. Boom. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Also, a great way to support the show is patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Boom. One little clip I want to get in there. One little clip. Also, you can support the show at if you go to Venmo at Graham-Elwood. I will answer your questions. Sometimes YouTube is making it hard to for some people to do the super chat, or some people just don't want to use YouTube, which is totally understandable. If that's the case for you, then go to at Graham. That's a pain in the ass. I'm going to play this clip real quick because I had to reset. Let me know if you can hear this. On a Thanksgiving made tougher by keeping many families apart, those who made it here faced a more pressing need. Can you hear this? This year, I mean, we've been holiday level busy since March. Nationwide, 54 million Americans don't have access to sufficient food. In Texas, the long lines tell a story not lost on fifth grader Orion Jean, who organized a campaign to donate 100,000 barely by Thanksgiving. Looking at all of the people that don't have jobs or don't have access to things like food. Okay, that's good to know. Barely, it said. All right, all right. Not loud enough. Okay. Volume kind of low. All right. Let's get into this. Make sure I got this. Ho, boop, 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 boop. Speaker, internal speaker built in. All right, I know what I need to do.
Back to the way we had it. Come on, Graham. Just do it. Do it the way you had it, Graham. Move.
going to talk about the unemployment and food issue. We're going to talk about the war with Iran that I predicted. We're going to talk about a lot of things. DC Thomas, you nailed upcoming war with Iran. Oh, I know, dude. And I got a whole segment on it. I'm going to show you. What it's nuts. And I'm going to show you the bullshit. Anyway, we're going to get to that, DC. Thank you so much for supporting the show, but I will get to that. Tell me now, let's do another test. Sailor Man, what's up? Tell me now if you can hear. I just want to play this as a test and tell me if you can hear it.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
All right. Did everybody hear that? Tell me if you heard that, if the sound was still low on that. Perfect. Sound was good. Hear the great. Okay, great. Here you go. Whoa, very audible. Nice. Yes. Truth to tweet and everybody on the East Coast. I hope you're enjoying the earlier start time. I haven't done a Sunday one in a little while. Sam Dean, shave your knuckles for justice. Sure, it's Black Friday, but don't forget to gather in numbers and consume. Spend, people. Consumer is its own virus. Can't fix stupid. Oh, I know. It's unbelievable. I can't even. I don't even. I can't. I don't even have an answer for that. DC Punk. Have you talked about Nancy Pelosi wanting to save the Republican Party? Oh God, no, I have not. Jesus, these people are so horrible. They're so bad. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We have 293 people watching. 189 people. Hit the like button, share this out on your social media. Also, if you're new to the show, please hit the subscribe button. YouTube has been unsubscribing people. We're right under 73,000. We have lost 1,000 subscribers, which is not possible. I go live 4 to 5 days a week. I drop 15 to 20 clips a week, 2 to 3 clips a day. It's impossible. So please help us out. And hello everybody over on the Rock Film. All right. Yes. So, I mean, here, just to give you a little, the later time slots, Tuesday and Wednesday, are because sometimes I go earlier on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but when Jimmy goes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and, going right after Jimmy helps the numbers on the show, because Steph will say, stick around and watch Graham, and it just helps the numbers. And, he's got 800,000 subscribers. I've got 73,000. So if I could just get, 20% of his subscribers to subscribe to this show, I'd have 150,000 subscribers, which would be huge. I really need to get over the 100,000 mark. That's like a big thing. And it helps with your analytics. When you have over 100,000 subscribers, they push your videos more. So it's not just about getting a plaque. It's about YouTube's analytics. So more people that can subscribe, the better. All right. You got me. You got it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And Kate, text me if there's some tech issue when we do this segment. Drew Wintermeyer, Shaver Knuckles for Justice. Drew, Biden helped make it so you can't go bankrupt on your student loans, and now he is maybe going to forgive 10,000 of that debt. How effed is that? Right. I know. Yes, God. I don't know. There's a lot of time. Biden might do full student debt forgiveness, which would be good. There's rumors of $2 to $3 trillion in stimulus once he becomes president, which will help in the short run, but it's just printing a lot of money. It's a lot of craziness. Miro Manassian, can we acknowledge fake lefties like Pac-Man and alike, the Dem Biden apologies all day, and Trump fear mongering still at an all-time high pathetic? Oh yeah, they're fake lefties. They're fake lefties. They're so fake. They're so fake, you know? And they don't have vegan guns. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Well, we got to get this guy. We got to get that guy. We got to get this guy, that guy. We got to get this guy. We got to get that guy. New mic. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Look at those graphics rise up. Bat-like over the ashes of lies. That is Gotham. We will make Gotham great again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, so we just got through Thanksgiving. And of course, we have Thanksgiving. Then we have Black Friday. Go shop, shop, shop. Buy, buy, buy. Trample each other for a discount. If that's not the insanity of capitalism, getting people to literally push and shove to save money on a TV or whatever, if that isn't how people are so propagandized into capitalism, I don't know what is. Like, I don't know what is. So we have an economic collapse that's coming. And I'm not happy about it. I don't want to be right. I'm not going to say I told you so when it happens, because it's awful. Watch the movie The Big Short. A handful of people saw what was coming. They saw how corrupt the financial system was, and they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And spoiler alert, at the end of that movie, they go, oh, and nobody was regulated. Nobody went to jail. And they're like, it's happening all over again. It's happening all over again. Only now, I was talking about this before the pandemic. I was talking about the housing bubble. I was talking about the student loan bubble. I was talking about the car loan bubble. In February, there were 2 million car loans that were 90 days or more late. It was before the pandemic. Now we've got rising evictions. I'm going to just explain this map to you. This is the percentage of adults living in households not current on rent or mortgage where eviction or foreclosure in the next 2 months is either very likely or somewhat likely. I want you to understand this. So the light blue are the states that are least likely. And that's the minimum is about 10, 11% of those states. That's one. We have one state where only about 10, 11% of the population is likely to foreclose. It's Maine. That's it. Dark blue is 11 to 21%. So that's Alabama, the state of New York, including New York City, Vermont, Connecticut. The dark, the gray or whatever color you want to call that, that's 21 to 30% of the population of those states are on the brink of foreclosure or eviction. To begin, where eviction or foreclosure. So it's not just people getting evicted from their apartments that they're renting. It's homeowners about to foreclose. Another housing bubble. Pennsylvania, which has Pittsburgh and Philly. You've got New Jersey, which has Newark and all of that just outside of Manhattan, right? You got Virginia, Delaware, that's all near DC, Indiana, Missouri, so St. Louis and Kansas City are there, Iowa, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Seattle, up there in Washington, Colorado, Denver, New Mexico, Albuquerque, Texas, which is has a big population of people. That's Dallas, Fort Worth, that's Houston, That's San Antonio, Austin. So not just a big city, but then anybody anywhere in that state is facing this. The dark red states are 31 to 41%. Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia. I mean, look at this. California, Oregon. Bright red is 41 to 50%, 41%. So you have one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. You have basically 90% of the country is somewhere between 20 to 40 some percent of the population is on the brink of eviction or foreclosure in the next few months. In the next 2 months. This came from Bloomberg like a week ago. So we're late November in the next 2 months. January 1st, February 1st. So hopefully there'll be some stimulus passed before Trump leaves office. I don't know that that's going to happen. But at least the Democrats are on the case, you know. So this is the problem with the duopoly. They blame each other. They don't give a shit about the American people. They offered Nancy Pelosi a stimulus plan, and she said no to it before the election to politicize it. Oh, but it wasn't that great. I'm sure it wasn't that great because these two corrupt parties did it. You notice there's not a map of 90% of big Wall Street companies that are about to go bankrupt. You want to know why? Because they got $4.25 trillion in the CARES Act. A CARES Act that was voted on by Republicans and Democrats. And people like AOC deliberately did a unpublished verbal vote. So there's no written record of it. They did that intentionally so they could just say, oh, the Republicans. And then Mitch McConnell goes, oh, the Democrats. Remember this ad campaign that Trump ran? Again, I don't like Trump, don't like Biden.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is
Oh my.
chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate.
And I want to be real clear here. This company, this ice cream company, they donated to the Democratic Party. So this is like a paid advertisement. And to the vote any blue will do liberals are like, but Graham, the Republicans. Yeah, I know that both parties are pieces of shit. Your lesser of two evils creates this environment where we don't get stimulus money because of soulless jackasses like Pelosi and Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's a piece of shit, but this is the duopoly. Is then people who just pay attention to this party or that party are told the other party stopped this. Both parties did it. And this is from the summer. Do you remember this? Like a week or two. This is from just this past week leading up to Thanksgiving. This video.
Happy Thanksgiving.
On a Thanksgiving made tougher by keeping many families apart, those who made it here faced a more pressing need.
I appreciate this. Yes,
This year, I mean, we've been holiday level busy since March.
Nationwide,
Holiday level busy since March. So that's a guy from a food bank. So food banks every year obviously have more people come more times during the holidays. They have peaks, you know, the food banks. But he's been saying we've been holiday level busy since March. Food banks are overrun. If you can donate to a food bank, canned food, money, whatever, please do it. And thank you for doing that. But the federal government should be doing this. Jeff Bezos should be doing this. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell should be doing this. Amazon, Walmart, companies like this, record profits during this.
54 million Americans don't have access to sufficient food. In Texas, the long lines tell a story not lost on fifth grader Orion Jean, who organized a campaign to donate 100,000 meals by Thanksgiving.
Looking at all of the people that don't have jobs or don't have access to things like food and clothes and all of these essential things that we sometimes take for granted on Thanksgiving Day. Really sad, because one of the most memorable parts about Thanksgiving is the Thanksgiving meal. So knowing that I can help in just the smallest way makes me want to.
A fifth grader gets this. Better than Nancy Pelosi. A fifth grader looking around the world with his 10-year-old brain, whatever age you are in the fifth grade, going, this ain't right. A fifth grader. Nancy Pelosi doesn't pass a stimulus bill. Remember when she went on Wolf Blitzer and he was like, why didn't you pass this? And she got mad. She had a little hissy fit because he called her out. She had a little hissy fit, just like Trump. Whenever Trump's asked a tough question, he has a little hissy fit. These spoiled rich assholes. How dare you ask me questions?
At the Christian Center of Fort Worth, a negative COVID test came before anyone could help hand out food.
How does it feel to be able to give back to these folks?
I feel honored. I feel blessed that I'm able to give back to them.
Blessings went both ways. Parrish Jarningan lost his job to the pandemic.
Parrish, if you didn't have a place like this today,
I wouldn't know where I'd be. I'm just being honest.
Down the road, Orion hasn't hit his 100,000 meal goal yet, but says the mission is about more than food.
Kindness matters, and it's what we need the most right now. So go spread an act of kindness. It can make the world a better place.
Amen.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, thank
Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Dallas.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our...
I just leave that map up. So that story is great, and the corporate media does that, and it shows the wonderful giving spirit of the American people. What that story doesn't call out is why these two parties have done nothing, why Nancy Pelosi deliberately didn't pass one before the election, because she knew, if we pass a stimulus bill, it might help Trump. So doesn't care about you, only cares about the Democratic Party. And while that was happening, still sending out all these donate to the Democratic Party emails because the Trump is going to eat the blah, blah, blah. And the Republican Party, Trump, sending out donate to stop the Antifa and the fascists of the Joe Biden or whatever bullshit. See how the ruling class treats the American people? You notice how there's no map of all the big corporations that are on the verge of. And of course, CBS or MSNBC, whatever corporate network that was, not going to go, isn't it bullshit that Jeff Bezos could single-handedly end this problem right now? Elon Musk, any of these assholes, Warren Buffett, any of these guys, Zuckerberg, any of these pieces of shit, any of them could just go, you know what? Here's $20 billion to the American people. Steve Mnuchin, where's he? Where's Obama? What's he doing? On Martha's Vineyard? So this is coming, folks. There's an asteroid coming to the United States in the form of a complete economic collapse. You have 90% of the country, at least 90% of the country is 20% or higher facing foreclosure or eviction. It adds up. That ad said an estimated 54 million Americans are food insecure. Obviously, if you're facing foreclosure or eviction, money's probably tight for food as well. So how's this going to happen? Oh, by the way, our military outspends the next 10 countries combined. We're bombing, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 countries right now. Really? So we got money for war, but we can't keep people in their homes? That $4.25 trillion that was given to Wall Street in March or April, whenever that was passed, the first CARES Act, what if that $4.25 trillion went all to the American people? What if there was, $1 trillion in rent and foreclosure forgiveness? So no one is facing eviction now. Imagine if you're one of these 90% of the country. By the way, just also to point out, there's no state under 10%. None. There's not one state under that. So again, if the CARES Act, which was the single greatest robbery of American wealth, and do you think it was a mistake? You think it was just these bungling fools in Congress and the Senate? No. They're looking at this map going, oh, sweet. We're going to buy up all this real estate. And there's this map doesn't show the commercial real estate house of cards that's about to collapse. And you better believe the 1% is going, oh man, we're going to just buy up and own everything because they never get enough. They're sociopaths. They're demented. Their brains, literally, they've done studies. The more rich somebody gets, they literally lose the ability for empathy. They lose it. Their brain loses it. A 5-year-old, a 5th grader rather, has more empathy than Mark Cuban or Elon Musk or Bezos or pedophile Les Wexner or pedophile Bill Gates or any of these creep fucks. That's why you come here, folks. That's why you come here. Political vigilante. I'm going to talk about it in a way that they won't. It's great. The human interest side that the corporate media shows of Americans helping each other out, that's wonderful. That's a good message to put out there. But they don't keep going and going, wait a minute, why are these corporations making all this money? Because Walmart, Amazon, they buy ad time on these networks. So they're not going to say this is repugnant that these billionaires exist because they're owned by billionaires. Those networks are owned by Fox, doesn't matter. They're all owned by billionaires. And if you think your party, the Republicans are great and the Democrats are evil, or the Democrats are great and the Republicans, you're buying their bullshit. The 1%, which controls all of the media, all of both political parties, the courts, they don't give a shit. They don't care about you. Great. Trump's gone. Yay. Now Biden, what's Biden going to do? They're going to pass a stimulus bill the minute he gets in office and say, see, thank God we're here to help from Trump. Trump offered stimulus and the Democrats said no. And Trump's stimulus, I'm sure, would have had like money for Wall Street. The Democrat stimulus has money. They're both going to take care of Wall Street because Wall Street controls both parties. Just get this through your head. Neither party gives a shit about the American people. They only care about their donors. Their whole goal is to keep winning seats or elections, at least enough to get donation money. They need your vote so they can stay in power to get your donation money. Or the Democrats just can lose to the Republicans and go, oh, we got to defeat them. So now the Democrats for the next 2 years are going to go, we got to retake more of that retake shit. Well, they retook Congress in 2018, and then the democratically controlled Congress voted to approve a bunch of Trump's shit. I thought they were all resisting Trump. I thought Trump was the bad guy. But they voted for his border wall. They voted to increase his war budget. They voted to extend the Patriot Act, which was supposed to be sunsetted 2 years after 9/11 or 3 years. It should have been done. The Patriot Act should have been done by like 04, 05. We're still fighting in Afghanistan. We've been there for 19 years, but people can't feed their families and they're facing eviction. So just think about that. To the how we going to pay for it crowd, we always have money for war, but we don't have money to protect our own citizens. That's complete bullshit. Wake up. These parties don't give a damn about you. They do not. They do not. And how do I know that? And some people are starting to catch on. I want to show you this video real quick. What's that? Dang it. Should have had that queued up. Come on, Graham.
Now, why are we?
Dang it. Where was that?
Smedley.
All right. I love showing this clip because I just want everybody to remember something. They want to come for your homes. They want to come for your businesses. And the CARES Act, which I talked about when the CARES Act came out, I said, this is about snatching up everything now. So think about that, kids. Thanks for watching the show. Like, share, and subscribe. Support what we do here. My name is Graham Elwood, and I'm the Political Vigilante, and you are all political vigilantes. Get involved. I would start researching about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Do your own research. Cryptocurrency is decentralized. Get out of their banks. Pay off your debt. Get out of their bank. Get out of their rat race system. So you don't have, because they control everything. The only way is to get out of their system. Thanks for watching. Boom. Oh. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. Let's see. A couple of super chats that we missed. 310 likes, everybody. 434 people watching. Hit the like button. Blah, 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 blah. Snork Y2K. Mitch, what's up? Thank you for supporting the show, my friend. I expect that if we get a stimulus, our annual total will be 1/50th what Hunter Biden gets per month per board that is given to a position he's on. Yep. Hunter Biden. I'm sure he doesn't have some big fat assistant to the liaison to the oil executive, whatever. He'll be on some fake diplomat committee, blah, 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 people for the betterment of creep fucks or whatever. Had sex with his, started dating his brother's dead wife. That's not weird at all. Jeannie Jackson. I am for real. Shave your knuckles for justice. The French are racking it up by burning down a Rothschild bank in Paris. Oh, I'd love to know more about that. That sounds awesome. Nero Stray Singer, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting the show. Another great way to support the show, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you're subscribed. In any video of mine you watch, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Positive comments, just any comment, a thumbs up, smiley face, comments help. All that stuff tracks. Sharing it on your social media. The more likes and comments and shares a video gets, the more YouTube rolls it out there. And then also, I know some people money's tight. I totally get that. So the free ways, like, share, and subscribe are all the free ways to support the show. Watch the ads all the way through on YouTube. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Sign up on Rockfin for free, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, and like my videos on Rockfin. Rockfin is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. I also have a Pandora channel. My 2 comedy albums, Comedians Got a Boo Boo and Palm Strike Dance Party, are on the Graham Elwood Pandora channel. Free stand-up comedy. There's other comics they put on the channel as well. Thumbs up to my bits there. Help. Great ways to support the show. DC Punk, what's up? Guillotines are sexy, but a cigar cutter ends generational wealth and it's portable. Oh, God, that makes my dick hurt, dude. I can't. Any joke about like that, I just can't. I'm sorry. Every guy grabs his dick and goes, come on. Gina G, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. I'll build rockets to eat the rich. Elon Bezos already want to go to space. You also see the Neera Tanden news. Niblev went, oh, I know. Neera Tanden is, of course, Neera Tanden's in Biden's cabinet. God, his cabinet is going to be so awful. I got another one of his cabinet guys with ties to Ghislaine Maxwell. We're going to cover that in a sec. Fan of fanfic, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. But Graham, the public has to be kept poor and disparate. If they aren't, how will the oligarchs keep them ignorant, uneducated, and compliant? Good point. You're right. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said that. I know. It's just like so awful. Oh, really dialing in the studio, right? With the fancy mic. Huh? Kate, I left the U.S. and now live in Guatemala. Here I can live on a little. Best thing I ever did. Ooh, is there surfing down there? If there's surfing and good internet in Guatemala, I'll go down there. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I just need to go somewhere where the cost of living is a lot lower. Then, like, YouTube messing with me isn't such like a it's volatile market. As long as I got good internet and like a stable electric, because I know some people like YouTubers, they tried to go to some third world countries, not that Guatemala's third world, but developing or whatever. And then the infrastructure isn't as good. And they're like, the power was always going on and out. And the Wi-Fi wasn't that great or whatever. But I do that. Not a day goes by in Guatemala that I don't give some poor person money and I have nothing. Oh, good for you, Gail. I've been listening to so many Rise Against songs. Awesome. Defund the politicians. Absolutely. War's a racket. Just a couple more super chats. I want to make sure I didn't miss any of them. Tony DeMeo, Shaving Knuckles for Justice, Tony. Hey, Graham, thanks for playing that video of Kamala Harris mocking people who are anti-prison and pro-education because we know mainstream media won't play it. No, they won't. They won't play it. Share it on your social media to all the like, yes, Queen Biden Harris taking over the world. Just go, this is who your new VP is that you're so proud of. Yeah, but she's better than Mike Pence. I wasn't saying I wanted Mike Pence to be in there. God, I'm so tired of that. It's such a stupid leap in logic. And who Mike Pence was he's gone. He's not after January 20th. He's not vice president anymore. The point is, this is the best we've got. I'm so tired of that. Yeah, but it's such a deflection and you're not admitting how awful Kamala Harris is. I wasn't talking about Mike Pence. Yeah, he's awful too. Done. If case closed. Yeah, he's awful. She's not better than him. They're just different kinds of awful. Yeah, but when will you interview Kashama Sawant? Well, she's got, I don't know. First, she's got to know who I am. Then she's got to want to come on the show. Yeah, I'd have to get a hold of her somehow, and she'd have to have the time to come on the show. I'd love it if she did. Kelly Jones, boom, Shaving Knuckles with Justice. Contra will be on the committee for foot jobs and M&Ms. Oh, God. Ambassador to creepy foot jobs, Hunter Biden. God. I would be okay with Hunter dating his brother's widow if he wasn't cheating on her with a stripper. Oh, yeah, that's where he crossed the line. It's cheating on her with a stripper. That's where he crossed the line. Owen John said, "You're making Gotham great again, Owen. Did you know that?" I tried rinsing and soaking the rice. Very fluffy. Yeah, I know. But again, like back to my cooking show that I did Thursday, it's like a whole nother step. I just want to fucking boom. I got that rice cooker. I put the thing of rice. I put the water. Boom. Turn it on. I go take a shower. I just do some work and then click. It's ready. All right, we're ready to eat. Boom, boom. A couple things in a frying pan. If I got frozen shit, boom, Skittle, Kit Clack, eat. I just soak it and wait and add a thing and overnight it. I just don't have the time, dude. I just want to eat. But I'm glad you got fluffy rice. Who dated his dead brother's widow? Hunter Biden. Yes. Fan of fanfics. Vegan guns 2024. Look at them. Look at the way they glisten. I think the microphone can pick up the vegan gun noise better. Lock and load. Lock and load. Vegan guns. 399 people watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like button. We are currently at 351 likes. I really want to see that above 400. Afghanistan war is about drugs. They're smuggling heroin just like they did during the Vietnam War. Not surprising at all. Most people not rinse their rice? I don't know. I've never heard it. I guess I've heard. I don't know. I just cook food and eat it. I just cook food and eat it. It's the simplest explanation for anything. I just cook food and eat it, man. You should listen to the song Crosshairs by Bamboo. You will love it. It's about empire and it's great to explain. Awesome. All right. I think it's time for another segment. What do you kids think? Ready for a hot, fresh segment, everybody? Hey, everybody. Okay, let me make sure I got this. That is, yes, that is a glass of fracking water. I always drink fracking water. Am I rinsing that segment first? Yes. Yes, I have rinsed the segment and let it soak. So it's going to be a nice fluffy segment. Okay. Granny Petrol's favorite. Hello from the UK. What's up? It's always great to hear everybody from around the world. I love doing the show. We've got just around a little under 400 people, 390 people watching. Hit the like button from all over the world. How awesome is this? It's Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Maybe it's a Monday morning for you, like it is in Australia. Boo, 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 boo. Fracking water is full of minerals. Thank you. I'm not a bad guy because I drink fracking water. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Help us out, folks. Right now, hit the pause button and hit the like button. The more likes we get, it helps the show. And make sure you're subscribed to the show. If you like what we're doing, we go live 4 or 5 days a week. We drop 2 to 3 clips a day, 15 to 20 clips a week. Boom. That's how you do it. And when you start watching the show, you'll see that I called some things. Remember last week? I said, get ready. Some type of war, false flag, or something with Iran is coming. Get ready. I said, get ready. We talked about this last week. This is the 25th of November, this story broke. Israeli military instructed to prepare for Trump's strike on Iran. I've been talking about this for at least a year, 2 years there's something, they want to attack Iran. Pompeo has said it. Hillary Clinton has said it. I mean, like, they've been wanting to get at Iran for so long. After the Shah, quick history lesson. 1953, Mossadegh was a democratically elected leader of Iran. He wanted to nationalize their oil reserves, meaning the profits from oil were going to go to the citizens. Schools, hospitals, whatever. And people were probably going to get even dividend checks, which, God, what other place has done that evil kind of socialism? Oh, the state of Alaska did that. Still does from their pipeline, by the way. So Mossadegh committed the egregious crime of wanting to take care of his citizens the same way the state of Alaska does. So then we sent the newly formed CIA, which got formed late 40s, early 50s. It used to be OSS during World War II, became the CIA, staged a coup, and they got him out of there, and they put the Shah of Iran in there, who was going to give the oil, sell his oil to the West. He was a brutal dictator that tortured people. America didn't give a shit. As long as you give us our oil, we don't care if you torture your own people, right? Shah fell out of power in the late 70s. The Ayatollah, who as a young man saw his parents get tortured by the Shah of Iran. So the Shah of Iran, the US and the CIA and the oil companies helped create Islamic fundamentalism. Awesome. Way to go. Nice work. So we've been trying to get their oil since then. We stopped getting access to it in the late 70s, so we've been trying to get it back. So what just happened? Iranian nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, my apologies, assassinated Ministry of Defense. He died in a hospital due to injuries sustained during a shootout between his bodyguards and armed terrorists Friday afternoon, the statement said. This is on Friday, November 27th. He has long been described by Western Israeli and Iranian exile foes of Iran's clerical rulers as a leader of covert atomic bomb program halted in 2003. Iran has long denied seeking to weaponize nuclear energy. They're mainly using it for, they want to like for energy, like for their power grid, like electricity. That's what they want to use it for. But no. We gotta demonize them. So remember when I said last week on the 25th, when that story came out about Israel being told Trump's going to go in. So he was assassinated on the 27th. Some Iranian leaders have said they believe Israel to be involved. I have seen no direct evidence, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I've seen no direct evidence, to be fair. I haven't seen any direct evidence. So this came out. Multiple reports. After assassination of Iranian scientists, U.S. President Trump deploys multi-billion-dollar USS Nimitz carrier strike group to the maritime borders of Iran instead of scheduled Iraq-Afghanistan drawdown cover mission in Western Persian Gulf. The same day? The same day. This isn't even the right date. 9/18/2020. It's not even the right date. That seems kind of quick. So let me see if I got this right. This comes out on the 25th that Trump is looking to invade Iran. Weird. This comes out. And then this? Or they happen right around the same time? Or did the Nimitz get a call? Hey, we're about to take a guy out, so make a move towards the Persian Gulf. Wait a minute. I smell false flag. I told you last week we're going to probably get to war with Iran before Biden gets sworn in. And if it doesn't happen before Biden gets sworn in, it absolutely will happen after Biden gets sworn in. Because Hillary Clinton talked about wanting to invade Iran back when she was a senator. I'll show you that video in a second. So one of the things that we do is we provoke people. right? So now this response has happened. Iran vows revenge for assassination of scientists with masterminding past covert nuclear weapons program. Of course, they always say the scientist is evil. Maybe I'm not trying to defend the Iranian government, but our intentions with Iran has never been noble at all. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be the United States is the aggressor and the problem causer throughout the world. We're still sanctioning. We kept the sanctions going on Iran during COVID. COVID got worse in Iran because of our sanctions, which isn't how you fight a global pandemic. But why have I said this war with Iran is coming? Not just last week. I've been saying this for 2 years. Why did I say this? Oh, gee, weird. Is this having anything to do? Iran ends oil transactions in US dollars. April 30th. That's 2008. That's what this is really about. And then in 2018, they stopped doing payments for other things with the US dollar. And on that same day, Netanyahu happens to come out. Oh, here it is, April 30th, 2008, on 2018. Today, this is how bad this this guy. Netanyahu said this guy is the evil nuclear guy. Maybe he is, but do you really trust these guys? I don't. So we've been ramping into this false flag with Iran for a while now. Iran shoots down U.S. drone aircraft raising further in the Strait of Hormuz, June 20th, 2019. What's in the bulk of the story, and this is CNN.com. This is how they move it out there. You just see this thing. Maybe you read it, maybe you don't, but you see this. Oh, Iran shooting down our drones. What's buried in the bulk of this is our drone was in their airspace. Just like if can you imagine if an Iranian drone was in American airspace? That thing would get blown out of the sky and we would be like, they're trying to attack us, but we can fly a drone over their airspace. We've wanted this for a while. I told you. Looks like it's happening. Last week, I told you we're going to go into Iran. And this isn't some crazy, how do I know this? I'll show you how many ways I know this. Because we've been talking about this. The United States has been wanting to get in there again for a long, long time. Here. Whoops, where'd they go? Ah, shit, hold on. I don't know what happened to it. Hold on. I'm going to cut this out of the segment. So now that Joe Biden is going to be president, how do I know there's going to be more attacks? Even if Trump doesn't follow through with this, if he does start one, it'll be continued. More than likely, that's what's going to happen. Trump will do this, and then Biden will keep it going. How do I know this? Biden's cabinet is shaping up to what a Hillary Clinton cabinet would have looked like. John Kerry, right? Hillary will be some type of advisor. Oh, Graham, what's your problem with Hillary? Well, this is her on the Senate floor back in, I think, 2007 talking about Iran. Oops.
Our democracy, with its tradition of accountable power and open debate, is America at its best. And that's what we need, America at our best, as we deliberately and resolutely confront the threat posed by the Iranian regime. Now, make no mistake, Iran poses a threat to our allies and our interests in the region and beyond,
Oil,
including the United States. The Iranian president has held a conference denying the Holocaust and has issued bellicose statement after bellicose statement, calling for Israel and the United States to be wiped off the map. His statements are even more disturbing and urgent when viewed in the context of the regime's quest to acquire nuclear weapons. The regime also uses its influence and resources in the region to support terrorist elements that attack Israel. Hezbollah's attack on Israel this summer using Iranian weapons clearly demonstrates Iran's malevolent influence, even beyond its borders. We also have evidence, although it is by no means conclusive, of attacks using Iranian supplied or manufactured weaponry against our own American soldiers. As I have long said and will continue to say, U.S. policy must be clear and unequivocal. We cannot, we should not, we must not permit Iran to build or acquire nuclear weapons. And in dealing with this threat, as I have also said for a long time,
of course, this is in 2007 after she voted for the war in Iraq because of that bullshit. Oh, they got WMDs. Again, another country they didn't want to do, that went off the petrodollar. Saddam went off the petrodollar. Just a wacky coincidence.
No option can be taken off the table. But America must proceed deliberately and wisely. And we must proceed as a unified nation.
Nothing gets more bipartisan support and total media support than both parties bombing the shit out of some country that won't give up its oil. There might even be some like, hey, Trump, concede the election. We'll let you bomb Iran. We won't press charges after you get out. You can have your network. Right? Nothing unifies both parties and the country than bombing. I told you they've been gunning for Iran. I thought it might wait till after the Biden, but now I said last week, Trump sending people there Weird. Trump sent people there. The Israelis are put on alert that Trump is going to attack Iran. Oh, their head nuclear scientist guy gets assassinated, gunned down in the streets. And then right around that same time, maybe even before, oh, the USS Nimitz just happens to read, well, we had no idea. Iran claims that Israel had something to do with this assassination. You see the timeline? Israel was notified that the U.S. is going to invade Iran on the 25th. This Iranian scientist is assassinated. The Iranians claim it was probably done by Israel. And then, the USS Nimitz just happens to be in the neighborhood. Oh. I don't want to be right about this shit. I wish I was wrong. But the military-industrial complex, their playbook is pretty obvious. A country that won't give up its resources is automatically a bad. You know how evil the Saudi Arabian people are? You know how their regime, not the people, the regime, the royal family, you know how evil they are? They have ties to Epstein. They treat women like second-class citizens. They have stonings for women. I mean, just unbelievable shit, but it doesn't matter, man. They bought $100 billion of weapons from Trump. They bought $113 billion of weapons from Obama. They give us the oil. They can do whatever they want. They can get us into a proxy war in Yemen, use our weapons to help. Obama loved the Yemen war. It helped him. Biden was his vice president, 85,000 dead children. It doesn't matter. The poorest country in the world, Yemen, we're bombing the shit out of it. It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit, this war with Iran. Is the Iranian government great? Doubtful. But do the Iranian people deserve this? No, they don't. To stop the pandemic, we should have been working with them, not sanctioning them. This is what America does, guys. And they're not going to cover this story. Last week, Anderson Cooper wasn't going, oh shit, we're going to bomb Iran, watch out. The American empire is out of control. Sean Hannity didn't say that. Joanne Reed didn't say that. None of them said it. I did. A surfing comedian said it in his apartment. All right. Support the show, folks, so I can get the truth out there because these other assholes don't want it. Both parties love war. All the networks, Fox, MSNBC, they all love war because they add Boeing, Raytheon, they all buy ad time on all those networks. That's why war is good for business. The country's divided. Oh, they're kind of pushing for a civil war, but there might be some people within like the ruling class, deep state going, maybe a civil war might get gnarly because they might turn and come at us. Remember all those Christopher Columbus statues they pulled down? Remember when they surrounded the White House? Remember there was like millions of people in the streets after George Floyd? Let's get the country unified over something horrible. Like another war. Hey, America, are you hungry? Can you not feed yourself? Are you waiting in line for hours at a food bank? Well, we've got money to go to war with Iran. What? Huh? Keep coming here for the truth, folks, because I ain't going to give you any bullshit. Nobody's paying me for that. I get supported by you. I'm viewer funded. And that's why I can talk about this stuff. Because if I was on some big network, they'd be a producer in my ear going, Graham, you can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. You know, the Boeing guys would fly me on their private jet to some, oh, Graham, you want to surf on a private island on a yacht? Oh, shit. I'd probably say yes. Thanks for watching the show, folks. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Ho! They're still pulling down statues. That's good. What empire? Little old U.S.? I know. I'm so mean about the little old American empire. We're just this little startup, just trying to keep our head above water. Emblem Fate, shave your knuckles for justice. Hate the way the media companies and Kamala and Obama to Black history, like X and MLK erasing history and putting up this crappy version of what they stood for. Oh, I know, man. I know. It's funny. They always present like MLK, they always present the "We Have a Dream" speech. Again, beautiful speech, but they never show any of his anti-war speeches, any of his socialist speeches, any of his thing were like really calling out the Vietnam War and capitalism and war for profit and the need for a UBI. They never talk about that on the shows. They just show his "I Have a Dream" speech and marching at Selma. All great stuff, but they only show part of him. Only the part that's acceptable for capitalism. They present this version, their version. This is an acceptable version to present. But we don't even hear boo about Fred Hampton. Nothing. Who's that? I didn't learn about Fred Hampton until 2 years ago. I grew up in Chicago. Didn't know about him until 2 years ago because I was nobody told us. None of my teachers, my junior high or high school in Chicago, nobody said anything. The U.S. empire is more evil than Thanos. What's that? Oh, there it is. Ah. There it went. Just get off my screen, Hillary. What do I got to do? Jesus. It just never leaves. Mm-mm. Boom. $443 likes. I love it. I love it. Make sure. Oh, here we go. Fan of fanfic, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Congress should institute a 3 strikes policy. Have your approval rating drop below X number percent 3 times in one term and eligible to run for re-election. I love that. I love that plan. Sam Dean, what's up, Sam? Hope everything's good down under. What does sheep count when they can't sleep? Sam. Going through the joke books again, Sam. 408 people watching. Welcome to the Political Vigilante, folks. Thank you for watching our live stream. Hit the subscribe button. I go live 4 or 5 days a week. Monday nights, I do a stream on rockfin.com, normally at 8 o'clock Pacific time. Tomorrow night, I will be going a half hour later. Sorry, on the East Coast at 8:30 because I have a busy day. We're doing government secrets. Then I have this other interview that I have to do. So we're going to have to go live at 8:30. So that is that. But Louise Brooks, thank you for supporting the show, Louise. I hope you're doing well. Iran has been on the list forever. I remember being in a bar in 2003 after Bush won saying we will be at war in Iraq soon. We could have swayed Trump, but not Biden. Oh, I know. Look, God, when I was doing stand-up comedy tours in 04, 06, 07 in there, in Afghanistan and Iraq, everybody's saying, yeah, we're ramping up for Iran. They were really pushing for that hard. Remember, they were the axis of evil. It was Iraq, Iran, and then Venezuela was in there. Why? What did they do? Oh, they wouldn't give up their oil too. Chavez wouldn't give up his oil. We came, we saw, he died. That's what Hillary said, yeah, about Gaddafi, which then opened slave markets after they killed Gaddafi. You can support the show at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. So here's what I do with the live streams, guys. When the stream's over tonight, it'll be up for the archive will be up for maybe a half hour, usually less. I pull it down pretty quickly. And then if you have the $10 Patreon level, you get to watch all the archive of the light. Like if you just got here late for $10, $5, you hear the audio. And then Rockfin has a $10 premium. Rockfin's free, and all my videos that are on YouTube for free are also on Rockfin for free. And there's no ads on Rockfin. But for the $10 premium a month, you get archives of all the live streams, early access to the podcast. Same thing on Patreon for get early access to the podcast, and exclusive to Rockfin, all the karaoke videos are on Rockfin. Hello. Make sure I didn't miss a super chat. Oh, a bunch of them. Look at that now. Miss Hendricks, you're making Gotham great again, Miss Hendricks. You guys like the new microphone? I think it's great. I think Trump not conceding is a false flag so they can go into Iran. You are so right. It's all about the petrodollar. Ask Libya. Yeah. Again, like the not conceding gets everybody distracted every day on the news. You know what we're talking about? Is Trump going to concede? He hasn't conceded. What's going on? It's more distraction. Did Biden cheat? It's great. Here's a great thing to divide the country. Just like Russiagate was a great distraction for 4 years. Liberals believed Russia hacked the election. Conservatives didn't. Now conservatives think Joe Biden cheated. Liberals think he didn't. Is Trump going to concede? Is he not going to concede? How are we going to transfer power? Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Okay. Legitimate questions. How are we going to transfer power? Usually the transition team gets access from the current administration. Okay, so that's a little weird that Trump's doing that. But again, it's like everyone's talking about that. We're not talking about more bullshit false flags. We're going to really go to war while Americans are starving. We're going to go to war where the Americans are there's 30 million looming evictions, but we might go to war. Unbelievable. CR, shave your knuckles for justice. Endless money for war and corporations. Shave them. Justice. Graham, did you ever go to Oktoberfest in La Crosse, Wisconsin? Went every year. Cheeseheads know how to party. I grew up in Wisconsin. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin. I moved to Chicago when I was 11, almost 12 years old. And then when I was a young comedian in my early 20s living in Chicago, I did so many shows in Wisconsin. And yes, cheeseheads know how to party. Back when I was drinking, there was I would work these clubs. I remember there's this comedy club, the Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee. And it had a bunch of cute waitresses. A lot of clubs did that. And we would go out drinking, and these little cute waitresses would drink me under the table. These Wisconsin girls would just be like shots. I'd be like, oh, I couldn't handle it. Come on, Graham, don't be a pussy. And they do shots. It's just like, oh God, help. I wish somebody could spread democracy here. Graham, please tone down the I told you so for my apartment. I love the show and don't want to be turned off. I'm just telling you, the point is not look how smart I am. The point is, look how awful the corporate media is. Like, I figured this out. Oh. Obama was basically Reagan. Yep. Yeah, MLK was a great man with an agenda that went way beyond civil rights. Absolutely, Graham. Thank you, Graham, for being my news source. You got it. Vegan guns from my apartment. The Iranian guy jumping in front of those bullets and dragging along that bomb, provoking the U.S. and Israel. Let's get him. Absolutely. We assassinate this guy because the thought, we've done all these false flags to try to provoke Iran, right? Sending our drone over there, they shoot it down. That ship got hit in the Strait of Hormuz last year. We were like, uh-oh. We keep trying to, and Trump wouldn't take the bait. One of the few things I give him credit for. But now it's like, if we do this to Iran, they have to respond. That's the thinking. And let's let Israel go in there and do it. Make it obvious Israel did it. So then they're like, no way, we can't take this shit from Israel. That's how the Arab world would react. We're not taking this shit from Israel. Israel can't come in here and assassinate one of our leaders. So now they're going to go hit somebody in Israel. Oh, and then we have to intervene. Yeah, it is also about forcing these countries to install the same criminal banking system and fiat currency. Yeah, so when they get off the dollar, the petrodollar, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's how so much of our control. That's how we control the world is with the petrodollar and just the U.S. dollar in general. Any commerce has to be done with our currency. That's how we control everybody. Louise Brooks, what's up, Louise? Shaving your knuckles for justice, Louise. What do you do for self-care during this zombie apocalypse? I'm single, family on opposite coast. It can be rough. Oh boy. That's a great question. So I do a lot of, I make sure I eat healthy. I do yoga 3 days a week. Like today I swam laps. I might go surfing. Like I get out in nature a lot. I ride my bike. I try to be outside. So I'm not just bouncing off the walls in this apartment because there's a lot of work to do on this show. And I could literally be home all day, every day, just working on this show, but I need time for myself. And since there aren't into things like, God, the other day I was like, oh, I'd love to go to a museum. I can't do museums. I can't do sporting events really. I mean, I can't, like all this stuff shut down. I can't see a lot of friends and family. It's really hard. So that's what I try to do. Just outdoor nature, unplug from the internet. Like, that's why I love surfing. There's no cell phone. There's no nothing. Like I swam laps today or I'm on a bike ride. I don't have a phone. I don't listen to music. I just unplug and get out in nature. I think that's critical. And eating healthy for me is important because if I ate like sugar, like I get bad mood swings from eating sugar. So I rarely have it or even just teeny little amounts. And I try to call friends and stuff and do video conference with people and just laugh. There's a lot of people I just call and we laugh our asses off about stuff. That's important. Yeah, reach out to as many people as I can. It sucks because it's not in person, but the phone or Zoom or whatever, Skype is better than nothing. Just so I don't feel so isolated is some of the things that I do. I hope that helps. The mic has a little faint, high-pitched noise in the background. Okay. Rick Fry, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. In a country that made sense, we would have 6 parties, 3 left ones, a liberal party for the MSNBC crowd, a progressive party for the TYT crowd, and a socialist party for Graham, Jimmy, Abby, Caleb, Maupin crowd. I know. We'd have like a conservative party, a libertarian party, the Green Party, and then like all these other lefty versions that you're talking about. I know, it's nuts. It is nuts. John Smith, you have no sympathy for us. We have no sympathy for you. All right, buddy. Still think I'm going to change my mind? Never going to happen. I have sympathy for you up to a point, but you refuse to listen. You don't want to see how you're being lied to. So it's like someone that's a really bad alcoholic or drug addict. I say, you got to get help. You got to get sober. There's rehab. There's 12-step meetings. There's all that. Wow, shut up. Don't tell me how to live. I don't know what to tell you. I used to love football. I played football in high school. I used to love watching the NFL, but it's just got too corporate, too commercial. And yeah. And then when they covered up the CTE, the head trauma thing, again, just big billionaire capitalism is literally making. If we were aware, if my parents were aware of the CTE thing when I was playing football in the 80s, they would have said, no way. If I had a son, I don't have any kids of my own, but if I had a son, there's no way he'd play football. I'd be like, you're not playing. I will not sign a consent form. That's not happening. You can do anything else. I even let you do MMA, but you're not playing football. So it's the game itself. I mean, I did love watching it and playing it because it was the perfect combination of like athleticism, brute force, and then strategy. I love the situational. Do they go for this? Do they run it? Do they pass it? Do they kick the field goal? Do they go for it? I mean, all that stuff, the situational strategy. I just love that kind of thinking. But covering up the head trauma, and then you watch an NFL game and it's all these ads for war, and it's basically a recruiting tool for teenage boys mainly, and girls now a little bit. All these ads for War Game Strike and Call of Duty, and literally like a Call of Duty commercial showing how cool and fun war is. And then the very next ad is like a Marine Corps recruiting ad. I'm just like, I can't do it. So yeah. And then, like in LA, so they built $1 billion, 500, I don't know what the stadium was, like $1 billion or something for the Chargers and Rams stadium. So let me see if I got this right. We got one of the worst homeless problems in the country. We can't seem to figure out how we're going to take care of the homeless, but we got this new state $1 billion stadium. Come on. I mean, I like a nice stadium. I like going to sporting events. It's a fun, but I'm just like, I mean, even like I love watching the MLS. I love soccer. And when the LAFC came to town, I was like, oh, cool. Cause I watched I like the Galaxy and LAFC, and they built that stadium. It's a nice stadium. It's a fun fan experience. They did a really good job, and there's a cool fan section, and there's a lot of sort of working class lefties in that fan section and stuff. But it was hard to not just go this $500 million Bank of California stadium in downtown LA where there's tent cities. I just like the egregious money that's spent. All these massive corporations, Nike, Gatorade. I mean, just like spending all this money, and they'll give a little token donation money. Like, it's just hard, man. It's just, I like sports because it's a nice distraction. It's entertainment. It's fun to watch with friends. But, yeah, the military has been recruiting heavy since the 90s. Sponsor of the NFL, have a beer talk. Yeah, beer steak, gun truck. Gun truck, boob steak gun. Pickup truck. Bacon wrapped beer gun. With a bikini. That's every NFL ad. Gun boob. American flag gun boob steak truck. Deep fried American Eagle. Bikini gun steak. 483 likes. Let's get the likes up to 500, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. The few, the proud, the Marines. Yeah, the NFL owners. Yeah, exactly. The NFL owners that didn't give a shit about, they literally blackballed Kaepernick. Oh, and now all of a sudden this summer, they're like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Oh, okay. He couldn't get a job at any team in the NFL. I used to be a Bears fan. Really? Nick Foles? Come on. Had a couple, and Nick Foles. I'd take Kaepernick. Kaepernick in his prime from 3-4 years ago, I would, come on. It's bullshit. All right, folks, let's do this last segment, sing a song, and then boom, shalaga-lag, boom, everybody. Oh, it's a quick sip of fracking water before I. Oh, that's frackalicious. Before I do this segment. Hold on. Tell me if this helps. That you said there was like a high-pitched tinning thing. Tell me if this helps. Is that better? Is that better? Is there no more of that high pitched tinning thing that somebody said they heard? It's still there. Oh, I hear it. I definitely hear it. Huh. Yeah, I still hear it. Okay. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll work on that. I want my show to be perfect. Here we go. I hear a hum every time I drop acid. All right, that's helpful. Okay. All right, so just don't drop acid before you watch the show, everybody. I think that's the technical tip we've learned. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Oh, baby, boo, boo, boo. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Boom, the Political Vigilante. We are making Gotham great again. Gotham, corrupt city. We're going to make it great by telling the truth, folks. Telling the truth. Boy. First of all, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Those things help the show. And Joe Biden's cabinet, it keeps getting better. Oh, man. John Kasich, John Kerry, 2 Republicans. Heidi Heitkamp gets money from the oil lobby. I mean, it's just like on down the line. And now we've got this guy, Anthony Blinken, Biden's pick for the State Department. And he's got a wonderful story of his stepfather actually was a Holocaust survivor and was rescued by a Black American soldier who was a descendant of slavery. It was like, it's this great story. Oh, wow. You know, we stopped the Nazis, and, you know, someone who defended the slaves was actually fighting in World War II. And it's this great story. Wow. Let's get a little bit, let's find out who his stepfather was a little bit further. First of all, like, who's Blinken? Well, he's got a years-long relationship with Joe Biden. Okay. Is that a good thing? Joe Biden, 40 years of basically being a moderate Republican, saying he's against Medicare for all. He wants to gut Social Security. He wants to gut Medicare, who wrote the 1994 crime bill, was vice president when Obama dropped more bombs than Bush and gave the banks $1 trillion and let 6 million foreclosures happen, opened up the Arctic to drilling twice, 85,000 dead kids in Yemen, contaminated water in Flint, Michigan, did nothing at Standing Rock. Okay, great. So they've got a long, rich history. Blinken has acknowledged that he became hyper-focused on foreign policy in the Middle East after 9/11 terrorist attacks and again during the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Great. It's a great sign to the military-industrial complex. Don't worry, fellas and ladies, since the 5 major defense industries, all the CEOs are white women. Yes. Diversity of the ruling class. Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, that whole gang, that whole crew. It's all women. Yay, we did it. Head of the CIA, Gina Haspel. She's in favor of torture. This is more distractionary, neoliberal identity politics. See, this lets you think, oh, there's real change is happening. The war machine doesn't change. The spending on war rather than the American people doesn't change, but now there's women doing it. Awesome. So sweet. The first black president. He dropped more bombs than Bush. That's so great. Trump dropped more bombs than Obama in his first term. That's amazing. Biden. Oh, change is here. Same old shit. So who is this guy? Who is his stepdad? Max Blumenthal goes into it. Oh, he's got ties to Epstein? Wait, what? Wait, huh? Yeah. Blinken's late stepfather was Samuel Pizarro, the longtime lawyer and confidant of Robert Maxwell, Mossad agent and father of Ghislaine Maxwell. So that's the lineage here, folks. I've done videos. If you watch my Epstein playlist, Biden has ties to Epstein. Hillary Clinton will be somewhere involved in Biden's White House. Hillary was on Epstein's plane twice. Bill Clinton was on 26 times. Both the Clintons went to Epstein's compound in New Mexico numerous times. Ghislaine Maxwell was at their daughter's wedding. Do you see how the billionaires, sex trafficking pedophiles stay in power? Mossad. Remember when I had John Kiriakou on this show? And he said, this has to be the Israelis when I asked about Epstein dying in prison. This has to be the Israelis. John Kiriakou's quote, this has to be the Israelis. Pizarro was perhaps the last person to speak to Robert Maxwell before he died falling off of his yacht. Mysterious death. He knew something. Mossad got rid of him. Pizarro was one of the last people to speak to Maxwell by phone, probably the hour before the chairman of the Mirror Group newspapers fell off his luxury yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, on November 5th, 1991. So guess what? The filthy pedophile predatory ruling class stays in power. Trump, by the way, sorry, QAnoners, he was not an outsider. Why did he have Acosta in? Trump picked Acosta to be in his cabinet in 2016. Acosta gave Epstein the sweetheart deal in Florida in 2009. Acosta was told back off. He was an intelligence asset about Epstein. William Barr, with all these ties to Epstein, Trump put him in his court. Trump, I mean, like on down the line. Trump had ties. I'll go into that in a second. So this is just, I just want you to show you who the ruling class is. And they're going to be, look, they will be all throughout Biden's cabinet. We'll have the Citibank. We'll have the oil. We'll have the war machine. We'll have the Mossad and sex trafficking billionaire crowd. Hey, there's Ghislaine Maxwell at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. There's Bill, who was on Epstein's plane 26 times. There's Chelsea Clinton. There's Ghislaine Maxwell, who's currently in jail. We've just, I read through her deposition. I've done several videos on her deposition. She's in jail. Hey, look at this. And what did that one article just say at the top of the video? Remember, I just showed you that. What did it say? What did it say? What did it say? Wait, where is it? 5 things, right? And also they said Biden's cabinet is looking very much like what Hillary's cabinet would have been. We got to get Biden in there because he'll be so much better than Trump. Oh, ties to Epstein. Oh, hey, look, there's Ghislaine Maxwell. So again, Blinken's stepfather, close friends with her dad, who we knew was a Mossad agent. Epstein died in prison summer of 2019. FBI whistleblower John Kiriakou said on this show, had to have been the Israelis. He asked that question, at least. He asked the question. The first thing a CIA thinks is that it's probably Mossad. That's a question we should ask. See how it's all tied in? And then remember when Trump said this a couple months ago when Ghislaine got arrested?
All right, Natalie, I want to pivot quickly and play another clip from yesterday's briefing when President Trump was asked about accused child trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's listen.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Not aware of it. I wish her well.
So what do we know about the president's relationship with Maxwell and her now deceased alleged co-conspirator, Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, Tanya, we heard the president acknowledge meeting her, he said, numerous times over the years, but we did not hear the president acknowledge the very serious charges and allegations she is facing of helping Jeffrey Epstein to recruit, groom, and sexually abuse young girls. Now, last year, you might remember, President Trump tried to distance himself from Jeffrey Epstein after his arrest on sex trafficking charges, saying that he knew him just like everybody in Palm Beach knew him. Also, the president said that he had a falling out with Epstein and said he wasn't a fan. But that's a very different commentary than what he gave in a 2002 magazine interview.
I wish her well. I think they were in Palm Beach. Palm Beach is where Epstein got arrested in 2008, 2009, where Acosta gave Epstein the sweetheart deal. You think it's a random coincidence that he then happens to make his way into the Trump cabinet? See, there's no difference between these filthy elites. You think Trump is better than the Democrats? Or you think the Democrats are better than the Republicans and Trump? Get out of here. Yeah, this is wish her well. There's Naomi Campbell, also indicated, listed as a pedophile groomer, sex trafficker. Right? There they all are, hanging out. They're weird creep parties. I don't know much about Prince Andrew. Oh, really? You don't know much about that? There's Ghislaine Maxwell. Virginia Roberts. Prince Andrew. The ruling class is awful. You think it's a random coincidence? Oh, Graham, you're grasping at straws. Really? So Blinken's going to be Secretary of State. His stepfather was good friends with her dad. This is business as usual. Hey, Les Wexner, whose name is never mentioned with ties to, anytime they bring up Epstein, he's never mentioned. Even though Maria Farmer said in her interview with Whitney Webb, he was the head of the North American sex trafficking snake. They don't know. Oh, we don't know. 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 It's all weird, crazy mystery. We know the Clintons got ties. I just showed you how Trump has ties to them. So there's no difference. the Secretary of State is going to be fine with bombing and trafficking. The British royal family's involved in it. So when I talk about the war machine and all that and the arms dealing, sex trafficking is a part of that. It's one of the things Maria Farmer's talked about. That's other Whitney Webb has talked about that. Arms dealing and sex trafficking are like one and the same. So it's not a mistake. We just keep hearing these same names. And this is the stepdad of this guy, the kid of that. And see it? See it? Biden's cabinet is going to be horrific. There's no difference. That's the point I'm making. They're both all awful. See, when you vote for the lesser of two evils, you still get evil. Lesser of two evils, still evil. Lesser of two evils, still evil. Lesser of two evils, still evil. Lesser of two evil, still evil. That's why I've been voting third party since the 90s. That never works. When all of you idiots say lesser of two evils and vote for pedophile, sex trafficking, warmongering psychopaths, and you think the R or the D next to their maggot-ridden name somehow makes a difference, that's why we have this. So please wake up that the ruling class is evil. They're pure evil. They rape and sell children, and they get away with it because they're rich. Pedophiles, I had my friend Eric Oldenburg on the show, former child crimes investigator, said, Graham, pedophiles, male, female, rich, poor, every ethnicity, every socioeconomic status. He goes, but the wealthy ones get away with it more because they can. 2 presidents are in Epstein's black book, Trump and Clinton. And a vice president, Biden. Alan Dershowitz. All right, folks. I won't let the story go. And the media distracts you with a Blinken's stepfather Holocaust survival story. Okay, that's a fair story. That's it. Oh, that's a good human interest thing. And the black soldier that rescued him out of the concentration camps. Oh my God, the concentration is horrific. But we're not going to talk about ties to Robert Maxwell. We're not even going to mention it on the corporate media. We're not even allowed to ask the question. If I ask the question, what does that mean? What oh, I'm a crazy. I like Trump. No, I hate Trump. I'm glad he's not gone. But Biden is a piece of shit too. And this cabinet is awful. And to all we're going to pull Biden to the left. Are you? You don't seem to care that he's going to put John Kasich in there in his cabinet. All these warmongering hawks, some of them Republicans. You have where's the pull to the left? And this is the problem with the duopoly. You turn a blind eye to the connections of Epstein. This is the thing I've talked about on this show. Not a lot of lefty shows talk about Epstein as much as I do, because the problem with the right, the conservative shows, is they just think it's like the QAnon folks. They think it's only the Clintons and the Bidens or whatever. It's all of them. It's all of them. It's all of them. You can't get that much power and be tight and all these tight dealing with these people for decades and years and not know. You met Epstein once at a party. You met Maxwell once at a party, and you weren't aware. Fine. All these years hanging out, partying with him. You're on his plane. Trump was on his plane once. Come on. Bill Gates was on his plane. It goes on down the line, folks. It just keeps going on down the line. The ruling class is awful, and they own both parties. And many members of the ruling class are horrific sex trafficking pedophiles. And I know if one of your heroes is in there, I'm sorry, but they're all awful. They're all awful. Thanks for watching the show, folks. I haven't let the story. Have I let it go? I have not let it go. So I'm sure we're going to be talking about it more because Biden has ties to him, and more of them are going to come up. More stuff's going to happen. Ghislaine Maxwell's trial is next summer. Anything can happen between now and then. Trump might do some crazy shit and just reveal some information before he leaves that puts everybody at risk, all the ruling class at least. I don't like Trump, but I hope if he does that, awesome. Awesome. I just want the truth. But the corporate media won't cover it because they've squashed stories like this in the past. So that's why you watch it here. I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting this go. So the ruling class is evil. And you're making Gotham great again by supporting my show. La-boom! What's up? My pleasure. All right, folks. Oh, somebody put a funny one in here. Let me see if it's on the Little Rock elevator. Shave your knuckles for justice. Biden will sniff the communication team's hair now. Well, that's the thing. Why, Trump not conceding is holding up the process of Biden sniffing all of the transition people's hair. I mean, this is an important part of the peaceful transfer of power, as he gets to come and go, "I am Joe Biden." Yeah. Creepy, creep. Evil contains within itself the seeds of its own destruction. That's true. That's a good point. Kind of feels like maybe the ruling class is really coming undone, and they're like, the reckoning is like really gonna happen. Remember when I had Karen Runtowski on the show? This is the psychic that does tarot card reading. She's like, Graham, some crazy shit's going to happen. There's going to be some big reveal, something that's going to blow people's minds, something. And I think it might be this. It might be like, oh, here's what was on Epstein's hard drives. Here's all these powerful people from both parties and all these royal families and celebrities and all these people you think were your cool friend, buddy, heroes. Horrific. Might be something like that. Andrew Dwyer, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. UBI or federal jobs guarantee or both? Or neither? Both. Both. A federal jobs guarantee and UBI. So you get a job, and let's say that job's like it's a part of a green. That's what I talk about. This would be part of a Green New Deal. So you get a job, a federal jobs guarantee. So you get a job no matter what. And if that job ends or they don't need you anymore, it was a seasonal job or just a project that lasted for a finite amount of time, 2 years, whatever. Then when that happens, you go back on UBI. So you're never not taken care of. There's always money, and we have a consumer economy, so there's always money for that. We wouldn't be facing this economic collapse that we are going to hit. Take care. They talk too much stuff you don't like. I know. Megan Rose, a step. What's up, Megan Rose? Thank you so much for supporting the show. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. CR. Boom, boom. Thank you, my friend. Make my no empathy. Just let me snip. Graham, we need a WPA style program on steroids right now. I know, man. I know. It's madness. It's madness that we don't have that. It's just madness. All right, kids. I'm going to sing a song and saddle on up out of here. Did we pick a song? Muslim lover of peace. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Shave Your Knuckles. It's a big club and we're getting hit with it. George Carlin remix. Yeah, I know. We're all getting crushed by it. What do I know about Project Warp Speed? It's great. It's going to help us. We had Whitney Webb on the show. Watch that interview I did with her about a month ago. She talks about how evil it is. Yeah. Yeah, Les Wexner owns Victoria's Secret, so don't support that company. As much as I hate to say that. I love the stuff they make. I've had several girlfriends wear it. Loved it. Loved it. But don't support that company. Support like an independent lingerie maker, someone that's just making their own stuff online. Support independent business anyway, but don't support Victoria's Secret. It's evil. They used it as a recruiting tool. Hey, 14-year-old girl, we'll make you a Victoria's Secret model. Just come to Epstein's Island for training or whatever awful shit. Les Wexner is evil. I'm pretty excited Joe finally got a progressive on his team. Neera Tanden is a great addition. Satire detected. Nice. Oh, boy. Kids Corner. What's up, Kids Corner? Have you heard the Ron Placone Bezos is surveilling your town song? No, I haven't. Oh, nice. I have not. 538 likes. Come on, let's get it up to 600. Do it. David Bond. David, shave your knuckles for justice. You're making Gotham great again. As a victim of priest abuse, I'd like to talk on your show about the process of seeking justice. I'm in the middle of a lawsuit. Happy to share what I can. David, first of all, thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry that happened. That's awful. And yeah, if you want to talk about it on this show, absolutely. Reach out. Kate books is starting to book my guests. So email grahamelwoodshop@gmail.com. And we'll figure out a time to get you on the show. Thanks for doing that. We can go all through that. And if you have any websites or documents or anything you need me to read ahead of time, put that all in the email. Thanks, dude. Thanks for fighting that fight. I really appreciate it. They're all predators under the guise of feminism. Yeah. A lot of Epstein's victims also worked at Mar-a-Lago. That's absolutely true. Thank you, Dylan. There's my website, David Bond. I just put it up there. Kate put it up there, so I just put it up on the screen. Biden cares coming soon. All right, let's find a show. Nope, that's not what I pressed, robot. Do what I told you to do. What song do we sing, everybody? I forget if someone put someone in the chat. They're boarded up shops more and more, now homeless shelters. I know. Underwear is pointless anyway. No, it's not. Sexy underwear and it's massage and then you slide it off. Come on. 549 likes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And chat there and all. What's up? Lucky by Britney Spears in the style of Darien. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Can we talk about paranormal Karen? Ah, that's my friend. Yeah, I love Karen. And the thing is, like, whether you believe, if you believe in that stuff or not, don't worry. Like, it's, if you don't believe in it, just watch it for entertainment. But she's calling some stuff, man. All right. Okay, here we go. Thanks for supporting well, everybody. Oh, Chicago style vegan dogs. Absolutely. Yeah, she gave a specific date, December 20th. I know. T. Anna, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. I watched The Matrix today, and with all the brainwashing that I see from the mainstream media, it felt like a documentary. I know. It's like, oh, they basically explained it. That's what they want. Yeah, something big's supposed to happen December 20th. We'll see if Paranormal Karen is correct. All right, here we're going to sing the song, and everybody have a great week. So tomorrow we're doing Government Secrets at 3 o'clock Pacific time. And then I will do the Rockfin members premium at 8:30 Pacific. Kind of a packed day. I know it's late for the East Coasters, but here we go. Free Britney. Okay. Here we go. Hey guys, Darianne here singing like Britney. I love her. This is a story like about a girl named Lucky. Oh my God, I love Lucky. Early morning, she wakes up like knock, knock, like total knock on the door. Like, oh my God, I hope it's not Chad. But it's time for makeup and like perfect smile, you guys. And we're totally smiling like dots and smiles. It's you they're totally all waiting for. You're like amazing. They go, isn't she lovely? This like total Hollywood girl. Like, oh my God, she's amazing. And they say, she's so lucky. She's a star. But she like cries in her lonely heart, thinking, if there's nothing missing in my life, then why are these tears like totally coming out? And it's not that I'm crying for like Ryan or Chad or whatever, but it's like I'm lost in an image. It's a dream, but there's no one there to wake her up. Like I totally have a dream image, and the world is spinning, and she like totally keeps on winning, like hashtag winning. But tell me, what happens when it stops? Like, for real, like you need to ask yourself, isn't she lovely? This Hollywood girl, like, oh my God, thoughts and luckies, lucky blessings, you guys. And she's a star, but she cries, like totally cries in her like lonely heart. And I was like, totally thinking the other day, and I just like was feeling lonely, but like things are amazing, and it's okay, and like I'm still friends with Ryan, and that's okay, and I'm like happy. So thoughts and friends, like no bad breakups, everybody, you know, thoughts and prayers. So like, again, I think, but like I just like you know, it's totally okay to cry. We're not, it's like, it's a release. It's a good thing. Isn't she lucky? This Hollywood girl. And like, I totally feel the same way Brittany does. Like, if I met her, I think we'd be totally best friends. Like, I totally do. But she is lucky. But why does she cry? Like, it's okay. She should be okay. You know what I mean? Like, so if there's nothing missing in her life, and it's like we all want to have that perfect life, and it's totally okay if we don't, but it's like, why do the tears come at night? And that's okay. Like, don't wear that kind of mascara even if it gets on your pillow, and you don't want that, and you don't want dirty pillows. Not that I'm shaming crying with mascara, you guys, like lots of mascara cries, but it's totally okay. If there's nothing missing in my life, why did these tears come at night? She's so lucky. She cries in her lonely heart, thinking there's nothing missing in my life. And I think we should all just like find like things that we're grateful for and that we think we're amazing, and like totally like thoughts and amazings. We're all so lucky. #blessings. Thank you guys. Oh my God. So amazing. It was so great. And like total like thoughts and loves and prayers. And it's like good to cry. Like it's totally okay. But like if you cry in your pillow, then maybe turn it over to another side or something. But sometimes that other side is like, some people really like the cold side of the pillow. I think sometimes it's too cold. You know what I mean? But anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Thoughts and blessings. You're all amazing. We're all best friends forever. And even if we're not, that's okay. Like total blessings for you. Thanks, guys. Darian, ladies and gentlemen. So much writing stuff. Bravo. I'm glad you like Darian. You guys are amazing. Thoughts and mascara cries. Absolutely. Leave Brittany alone. Oh, so great. Everybody. Yeah, I end the show with karaoke, and I put the karaoke clips. I just pull them out as a separate clip, and they're only available on Rockfin. You can watch the whole live stream in its entirety if you just joined us late. If you're a $10 member at Patreon, audio's at $5, or if you're a Rockfin premium member. So go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. It's a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. And that $10 gets you premium access, not just to my content, everybody who's on the platform. Ron Placone, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Convo Couch, Nico House, Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp is joining. Dave Anthony is joining from the Dollop, and many, many more. Richard Medhurst, Jason Burmis, both have been on the show. So thank you so much for watching and joining and supporting what I do. I'm glad you like. It's time for Graham to do a single man duet. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're all making Gotham great again. So Government Secrets live tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. And then the Rockfin premium members at 8:30 Pacific tomorrow. 2 shows, rock and roll. Shave your knuckles for justice.